first full day in Alabama is a go, as my friends and I roll on I-65 northbound in Birmingham. We started out at 16th Street on the east side of BNSF's East Thomas Yard. We found tied down MWLX 6972 and SD40-2 serving the Green Plains Fuel Terminal facility. We also came across CP Lehigh, also referred to as CP Block 2, at the interlocking where the BNSF crosses over the NS-NA West District. These searchlight signals date back to the Burlington Northern Railroad era and is still standing in 2019. This portion of track connects to CSX's Boyles Yard, marking the furthest eastern part on the entire BNSF railway system. We may not have found any train movements at this location, but we did find NS making a move down the street. This is local AB09 at Finley Yard, a small yard on Norfolk Southern's Birmingham Terminal District in North Birmingham. AB09 originates here at Finley and works at industries between here and Irondale. Then heard NS 385 on the radio, so we moved south and west to Bessemer, Alabama, along the AGS South District. We waited at the 19th Street grade crossing next to the depot with a diverging clear signal at CP Burstall onto the 3B North District. 385 then slowly approaches over the hill, sounding its horn through the town of Bessemer. NS 385 is a daily manifest freight train that runs out of Norris Yard in Birmingham, bound for Mobile, Alabama. The AGS wasn't running much today, so we went back to BNSF's East Thomas Yard, but this time on the west side at the Arkadelphia Road overpass, as we witness a couple of yard jobs making a move. The job with the Santa Fe Yellow Bonnet SD40-2 that caught my eye was fixing to kick some cars. inbound vehicle train was entering the yard towards the auto ramp, led by BNSF 7587, but our view was blocked by the local in front of us. The yard job is shoving their last section of cars into a track before they went to get another set to kick. We'll be able to catch a better view of them kicking cars here momentarily. The conductor throws the hand switch for the movement to be made, and opens the coupler to make sure the rolling car couples to the cars with handbrakes applied. He'll then walk back to the car being cut, and tells the engineer to kick it. Releases the pin on the cut car and lets the rolling do the work. They'll do that exact same process again, but this time for a different section of cars going into a different track. Kicking cars is pretty fun to watch from a railfan perspective. I'd say this portion of the trip was definitely one of the highlights, even for the Santa Fe Yellow Bonnet SD40-2. If you know me, I'm all the way with Santa Fe. They had to shove back coupling up to a set of cars to make a quick kicking move. Listen to how they communicate on the radio.
Come on back and help a ground. Oh. 25 feet. 3, 10, 5 more. A bit, come on. Stretch it. Push on.
No problem.
Get out here.
They kick the cars down the desired track, and then pull back out, engines light, to go into another track.
115, grab those, put them in 12. Okay. We're back up here about 10 going.
We were fixing to leave at this point, but one of the other yard jobs made a quick move in the process. We could watch them do this all day, but we had other sights to see. So we moved over to Birmingham's hotspot for trains, located on the west side of downtown, and it's easily accessible. But this spot is called two different names. This is where the NSAGS South District crosses over the CSX Boyles Terminal subdivision. It's a huge crossing at grade looking at it from the map. NS calls this 14th Street interlocking, but CSX calls it 13th Street interlocking. I'm not sure why this is the way it is, but it's not like it matters much. CSX train Q647 is seen passing the Birmingham Amtrak station approaching the Diamonds with YN2 AC44s 519 and 486 for power.
647, 13, 519, with 13, 3, come on track.
Q647 is a daily manifest freight train running out of Chicago, Illinois, bound for Waycross, Georgia. An interesting thing to note, half of their train was filled with loaded potash-covered hoppers. Train Q154 meets Q647 as they proceed towards Boyle's Yard for the crew swap. Q154 is a daily intermodal train out of Fairburn, Georgia, bound for Memphis, Tennessee. Just listen to both trains making music on the rails. It was well over an hour before another movement was made. BNSF train QSTO ATG-6 had been handed over to CSX at East Thomas Yard, now running as Q181. They are seen passing the Amtrak station led by BNSF-944CW 5159. These trains are guaranteed to have BNSF power running on CSX rails across the Lineville subdivision as they head for Fairburn, Georgia. Notice Q181's origination date is 16. I'm not sure why, being it's December 14th, but that's what they were calling out on the radio. Following them was train Q519, a Nashville, Tennessee to Mobile, Alabama manifest freight train. They'll run due south towards Montgomery on the S&NA South subdivision. It was all CSX in downtown Birmingham. With NS being dead, we went to go find some movement, moving west on the AGS to the town of Lipscomb. We see train 314 moving northbound at speed appearing over the hill out of Bessemer, with SD70 ACE 1064 sounding out its beast K5 LLA horn. Is a daily manifest freight train out of New Orleans and is fixing to terminate at Norris Yard in Birmingham. My friends mentioned this earlier, but I had totally forgotten about it. The Virginian Heritage Unit was serving as mid-train distributed power this afternoon. Not too long after came train 183 southbound, running out of Birmingham, bound for Calvert, Alabama, just north of Mobile. .183 had to wait on Amtrak Crescent Train 20, as they are seen now speeding over the hill, running an hour and 40 minutes late. 30 minutes later came Amtrak Train 19, the southbound Crescent, but they were running a lot later than usual, well over 3.5 hours. We would end our day here at this point, as it got dark pretty early and temperatures were starting to drop. We would be back out trackside in the morning as our trip starts coming to a close. Until then, make sure you are subscribed to my YouTube channel and enable that notification bell to be notified when the next video releases on my channel. I leave you here with Amtrak 19 from Lipscomb, Alabama at milepost AG 151.6 along Norfolk Southern's AGS South District.